How good was Sancho over the 2 legs, though, Jamie?
He was brilliant, wasn't he?
Your man. He was outstanding.
Yeah, he was fantastic, and it'll be easy now because he's not Dortmund's player, he's Manchester United's player. Mm-hmm. So Manchester United fans, I'm sure, will be watching this game thinking, "Oh, we want that player. We haven't seen that player for 2 years." But that is the player they bought. But sometimes, you probably know this better than anyone, Thierry. I've only played for one club. Moving clubs, sometimes you just feel... Sometimes it can just be the kit, the feeling, that the stadium, the confidence you've got. It doesn't feel the right fit at Manchester United. And that's not just for him. That's for a lot of players. Is that something, yourself, Thierry, when you go to certain clubs, you just feel more yourself?
It is not easy. Sometimes the shirt can be heavy, the expectation, the price tag, languages. Obviously, when you went to United, I'm talking in general, you don't have the problem of talking the language. But yeah, getting used to the town, getting used to something different. People at times underestimate all those points. Having said that, I'm not only talking here about Jadon Sancho and him at Man United. But there is something that I wanted to talk about, and I keep on saying it. Individuals win your game, a team effort win your title. I don't care what people say. And the teams that are fighting go through usually in the Champions League. They do. And I'm going to mention a guy, Mats Hummels. I mean, when he left Bayern Munich, everyone was like, he's done. That's it. Time over for him. And then, yes, we can talk about the league, and they're nowhere to be seen in the league. But he did compete against some of the best strikers in the world in that run. Mm-hmm. He held his ground really well. Not only he held his ground, he scored the goal that unsettled that tie. Mm-hmm. Not only him. And so you have to give him a lot of credit. Like, I would never have said, and I know that, that he would have been playing at that level now, going back to Dortmund. And so you have to give teams that fight a lot of credit. And we often, and I will be honest, and I like it, talk about guys that can do step-overs. Talk about guys that can score bicycle kick and solo goals. But ultimately in football, if you don't fight as a team, you're going nowhere to win titles. And that's one of the most important things in football, and it'll always be the most important thing. And Dortmund showed us that. But Real Madrid too. And I know they're not through, but they fight their way in if they have to. That's very important if you want to win the Champions League.
OK, I tell you what, let's go over to Paris for some live reaction from over there, because we've got Peter Schmeichel and Anita Jones over there for us. Listen, for Borussia Dortmund, return leg away from home in Paris. So they stopped PSG from scoring. How well handled was this game by Borussia Dortmund, do you two think?
It was perfect. I mean, it was perfect over the 2 games. They... obviously they played each other in the group phase as well. The first game, and Jamie and me, we were talking to Terzic, the manager. The first game, he said, made a mistake. We played 5 at the back. They learned a lot from that and played better in the second game and contained players like Mbappe, which is, is something. If you successfully do that, you bring that into the next game. But we were very impressed with how they played as a team. You talked about that. And a little bit, we feel a little bit for PSG because they were quite unlucky. 4 times they hit the woodwork, didn't they?
And 6 across the 2 legs. In fact, both the manager and the players were confident that they could turn things around. And if you look at recent history when these 2 sides have faced each other, it was the round of 16 in 2020. Borussia Dortmund had got the upper hand in the first leg, but then PSG, with the likes of Neymar and Mbappe, managed to turn it around. They didn't today. And, of course, a lot of PSG fans go away thinking, have they seen Mbappe in a European competition in a PSG shirt? I'm sure we'll find out soon.
We'll find out. He's not going to go to the final, but Dortmund are, and I think you're calling it precisely as it was. They played this game as a team. They played the 2 games as a team, and it was just amazing to watch how they worked hard from each other. There's a few players running more than 3 players, I think, running more than 11 kilometers. Sabitzer, who, I mean, he was here, there, everywhere today, and it's just amazing to watch a team really, really work so hard and really want to get to this final. And you can argue, yeah, PSG is a much better football team with probably, a lot better players. But these guys, they wanted that final, and that's why they're there.
Do you back Dortmund to then go on and win in the final, either against Bayern Munich or against Real Madrid, should, you know, depending on who does get there?
I think you do.
Kate, we drew Dortmund. We talked about this pre-match. We drew Dortmund in '97 semi-final. We went to Dortmund. We lost 1-0. PSG did the same this time. We then took them back to Old Trafford and lost 1-0. The same thing happened today, and they went on to win it. So there's every chance this team, you know, they're one win away from winning the Champions League. And I think regardless of who it is it Real Madrid or is it Bayern Munich, I think they have a shot. I don't know what about you.
Yeah, big upset we've seen tonight. We saw it when you were playing as well. So you'd be, I guess, maybe a fool to not bet behind them, you know?
Yeah, and then, my God, it's just, I mean, Jamie, obviously you were in the yellow wall on Wednesday. You understand how much this means for these fans. Well, I've heard so. I'm not sure. It's not confirmed, is it?
But Peter, you seem a little bit subdued. We were all so excited last week after the first leg. They're actually through now. Show us a bit of energy. Celebrate with them. Get Jadon Sancho.
No. Jamie, we've been told to be very, very quiet and not shout this time. And we are on the clock, as they say. You know, we've just been told no two-ways interview and you have to behave. What I do when I'm here, I sort of kind of stroll away, go to the other stations, get a little bit of information. As soon as I left our station, this is pre-match, the UEFA guys came and pulled me back. Don't you move away from there. You are on the, we're looking onto you. We are onto you. I think that's the expression. So we're not in the good naughty list yet, but we'll get there, don't worry. Yeah.
I'm not there, but you might be.
No, I'm not.
There's always someone who ruins it for everybody,
because the players are coming in new and we are getting some interviews.
Are we staying to see if that happens? No, we'll let you go and we'll come back to you in just a minute. We'll figure out.
Yeah? Oh, Marcel, yeah. Oh,
congratulations, well Marcel.
Yeah, come on, get in.
Do you want to come in the middle? Yeah.
Keep your hands off him.
Right. How was that? You know, you're in the Champions League final. Just put some words on how you're feeling right now.
Oh, it's crazy, just crazy. I can't find the right words. You know, the emotions are there, goosebumps. You know, the fans are there. So we had a dream, we did it. So yeah, we're very happy to make it happen. So yeah, we're going to London.
And what about the emotions in the game, especially the last 10 minutes? It was so close. I mean, they hit the woodwork 4 times and, you know, you were so much under the course. How difficult was that to see the game through?
Yeah, of course. You know, before the game, we expected them very strong press up, and yeah, they were good. We had to suffer a lot, but I think we did a lot of dirty work. We run a lot. Yeah, at the end, we had a bit luck, of course. Could be a bit closer, but yeah, we worked hard for this, and we got it over the line. That's it. I can't say nothing more.
So you've been, in a couple of big clubs lately, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, and now you're here at Dortmund. What is it with this football club and this football team that makes it so special? How come you've gotten this far?
Yeah, it's special with this club. You know, as I said before, when we started the competition, we had a dream. We knew we had a very tough group, the group of death. Everyone called it. So we know, it was a hard way. We fought it until the final, and yeah, it's just special when you see the faces from the fans, from all the guys around the club, in the club, the team. Yeah, all very happy. We're very glad to can have this moment.
I played all the games, and when you play, it's different. You know, it's different, it feels different. I'm captain of this team, and I'm very proud. And if I talk too much, then I get emotional. Yeah.
And what do you say to people at home that doubted this Borussia Dortmund team? When the semi-final came out, everyone thought PSG were favourites. But like you said, you didn't even concede a goal against them.
Yeah, but not just against PSG. You know, before, if you see our story, then the first game we lost here in Paris. The second game we played draw at home against Milan, and then we had just 1 point from 2 games, and then nobody believed in us, to be honest. Just we believed in us, our fans believed in us, and that's why we are here, and we did a great job, and that's why we are very deserved to here, of course.
you come into this final as underdogs, but you've definitely sent a warning to Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. It doesn't matter. They know, to beat you, it's going to be very, very difficult. Good luck. I wish you all the best, and thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
And see you in London, right?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that was lucky. Back-to-back interviews there.
Yeah.
Emre Can, Marcel Sabitzer.
Can you get me the yellow T-shirt we saw Sabitzer in? Yellow Wonderwall. We need to get them for the final.
No.
Me and you.
Okay, I will ask.
I'll go in the wall with you, Jamie. The wall with you.
This one
The
favour.
Wembley Wall. The yellow Wembley Wall.
All right, guys, we'll come back to you
that'd be
as soon as we can and see if we can speak to anybody else or just hear more from you guys as well. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Before the game, about how much you had liked his interview around the first leg and just the way he talked about team morale and the team mentality that they have. And that's something that shines through as well when you listen to Emre Can, Jamie.
Yeah, brilliant. And you think of, we mentioned before about Bellingham moving on and then you still get your team to a Champions League final. You think what it's like for a lot of coaches continually losing the best players to the real 6 to 8 elite teams in European football. I think the season before that he loses his main striker and his captain as well. And last season comes within a whisker of winning the Bundesliga. So you look at the job that he's done, it's fantastic. They've qualified for the Champions League through the league position. They normally expect to be higher, but you can understand them not having or hitting the heights they did the season before in the Bundesliga when you lose one of the best players in world football. But to then get to a Champions League final, shows his quality. And they're a team who, if you look at it, they get to a Champions League final probably every 10 or 12 years. That's their history, if you like, starting in 97 with Hitzfeld. So, yeah, it's about time. And you can imagine Wembley when they come out, that sea of yellow, can't you?
Can I just ask you about obviously their form's not being that good in Bundesliga. You said they're in 5th position. When you were going for the Champions League, how did you find it juggling the league and the Champions League? Because that's what a lot of people are talking about. To get to a final, it's always going to make an impact during the league as well.
We finished 5th in the Premier League that season. I mean, we were lucky, really, in terms of what we did. And we had Anfield, a lot of things went for us. Obviously, all about the final, but in terms of getting there now, we knew the best team. And I've said this before on this show so often, the best team doesn't win the Champions League. The best team in Europe for the last 4 or 5 years have been Real Madrid or Manchester City, really. But Manchester City have only won it once in how many years with Pep now? 8 years? Yeah. And a lot of that time they've been the best team. So it doesn't happen. You look at someone like Dortmund, 5th in the Bundesliga, but as I said, 1 game away. And that's what makes the competition special. And that's what makes cup football more or certainly there's more jeopardy in it than league titles.
Mm-hmm. What a night for Borussia Dortmund, going to Paris, beating them in their own backyard. Paris Saint-Germain out of the Champions League. Kylian Mbappe in his last Champions League game in Paris for Paris Saint-Germain. He's off at the end of the season. Wow, what a night. What a night for the Germans, guys.
Oh, this is amazing. This just shows you that being very organised, well-drilled, defensively to a man, on your game, individuals performing all across the pitch. Your 2 centre-backs have to be in top-class condition and perform the way they did today. They were the man of the matches for me, the 2 centre-backs. But you've got to be brave as well in these situations. And they went there and they looked like a team confident in knowing what the task was and that they could execute. And they looked confident from back to front. And they made this PSG team look average, I thought, today. They made them look average. They made them look like a team lacking confidence or any stardust at all. And that is testament to this Dortmund team, who you have to say deserved this thoroughly.
We saw it in the first leg and we saw it again tonight. PSG had so many chances. They had 30 shots just tonight. They hit the woodwork a number of times as well. Sometimes it's just not your night and sometimes it's not your tie either.
No, but I thought Dortmund deserved all the praise. The goalkeeper made big saves. Mentioned the Schlotterbeck and Hummels played amazing. I thought Füllkrug at the top of the pitch was a great outlet for them as well. Brandt had some brilliant touches. The whole team is just, they're a proper team, played together. But also they counted when they needed to. I thought that was an exceptional performance. Everybody said the underdog can't win the Champions League. Yeah. They looked like they might. 5th in the Bundesliga, by the way. 24 points behind Leverkusen. And somehow they're getting into Champions League final. It's crazy. It's beautifully crazy.
Great for football, isn't it?
I think it is good for football.